Episode 12, Abraham's Test. One day, God decided to test Abraham's faith. God had given Abraham a wonderful promise that he would be the father of many nations, and Isaac was the child through whom that promise would come true. But God wanted to see if Abraham trusted him above all else. So God spoke to Abraham and said, "Take your son, your only son, Isaac, whom you love, and go to the region of Moriah. Sacrifice him there as a burnt offering on a mountain I will show you." This must have been a very hard thing for Abraham to hear. Isaac was the child of promise, and Abraham loved him dearly. But Abraham trusted God, even though he did not understand why God would ask such a thing. So early the next morning, Abraham got up, saddled his donkey, and took Isaac and 2 of his servants. They set off for the place God had told him about. They traveled for 3 days, and then Abraham saw the mountain in the distance. He told his servants to stay behind while he and Isaac went up to worship. As they climbed the mountain, Isaac carried the wood for the offering, and Abraham carried the fire and the knife. Isaac looked around and asked, "Father, the fire and the wood are here, but where is the lamb for the burnt offering?" Abraham answered, "God himself will provide the lamb for the burnt offering, my son." Abraham's heart must have been heavy, but he trusted that God had a plan. When they reached the place God had told him about, Abraham built an altar and arranged the wood on it. He tied Isaac and laid him on the altar. Just as Abraham reached out his hand to take the knife, the angel of the Lord called out from heaven, "Abraham, Abraham." Abraham replied, "Here I am." The angel said, "Do not lay a hand on the boy. Do not do anything to him. Now I know that you fear God because you have not withheld from me your son, your only son." Abraham looked up and saw a ram caught in a thicket by its horns. God had provided a sacrifice, just as Abraham had believed he would. Abraham took the ram and sacrificed it as a burnt offering instead of Isaac. He named that place "The Lord Will Provide," and to this day it is said, "On the mountain of the Lord it will be provided." God was pleased with Abraham's faith and obedience and renewed his promise to bless Abraham and make his descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky. Moral of the story: God tests our faith to help us grow stronger. When we trust God, even when we do not understand, He will always provide a way for us. God wants us to put our faith in Him above everything else.